What is going on, guys? This is your captain speaking, and today we are talking Kamen Rider Zi-O episodes 19 and 20. Now, for starters, I will say this, some of the plot points in this pair of episodes was a bit It was a bit confusing for me because I couldn't quite follow Kamen Rider Quiz's whole backstory. I think his name was Mondo. Or was that his last name or his first name? I'm not sure, but his backstory was a bit confusing to me, especially with the dynamic between how he could coexist with his version of another rider. But I guess what I could collect was the fact that he's from the year 2040, and his father, he was a researcher research things. And he got so enveloped in his work that he started to ignore his friends and family and colleagues, only to find out that whatever he was researching, that nothing would come of it. So that's where the Time Jackers come in, Hora specifically, and she forms a contract with him, giving him the quiz rider watch, and that's what makes him into another quiz. Now, as a result, the actual quiz, Mondo, with her husband being gone, this sort of, breaks her heart and leaves her questioning whether or not this guy actually loved her or not. So the only reason he traveled back to the year 2019 was to find his father and to have him answer the question, well, do you love my mother or not? But I still don't think I quite understand how they coexist, though. Now, on the other hand, you have Black Wolves and White Wolves. Black Wolves with Sogo and White Wolves with Gates. Now, their mission here is to take the powers of Kamen Rider Quiz, because I think it's conducive to both of their timelines, where Sogo needs the rider watch for his Oma Zi-O timeline, and Gates needs it for his Gates Revive timeline. So Gates is initially going to step up to him, Quiz that is, and try to take the rider watch, but then Sogo ends up saving him and getting him out of there. And this is going to leave Gates questioning, well, what would Sogo do in this situation? Like, would he take the rider watch so the guy wouldn't have to remember any of this? Or would he let him meet his father so he could get his answer, and he would just go happily on his way? And he comes to the conclusion that Sogo would just do what he thought was best for the guy. So he talks it out with White Wolves, and he decides, well, I'm going to let these two have their little reunion, and then I'm going to follow your timeline. So, yeah. And it also turns out that Sogo asks the same thing about Gates. Well, what would he do in this situation? But this is another part of the episode that kind of confused me as well, because Gates, his intentions weren't quite clear here as to what he wanted either. I wasn't sure if he legitimately wanted to help this guy out to see his father, or whether he was just following the timeline that he was supposed to make for himself. Like Gates Revive. But Sogo was able to figure out his plan, so their intentions aligned just enough for them to work together again this time, where Sogo takes on White Wolves and Gates takes on another quiz. Oh, and on a side note, when Sogo transforms, he's going to transform into Armored Time Double, which makes its first appearance here since the Heisei Generations Forever movie, I think it was. But, that's not out yet for us to see. That takes, months for us to get it here. And also fan subbed. But in the fight, though, Wolves is going to overpower Sogo, leaving him to de-transform, and he walks off. And that's that. While on the other hand, we have Quiz and Gates, who just defeated another Quiz, and now Mondo gets to have that one-on-one talk with his father. And he does get the answer that he does, in fact, love his mother, and that's all he needs to know. But then, what's her name? Hora, there we go. Hora and White Wolves are going to swoop in, where White Wolves takes Mondo and creates the Quiz Rider Watch from his powers, and transforms with it, while Hora, she revives another Quiz for him to fight one last time. And this is going to lead to a quick battle between White Woes and quiz. Well, another quiz. Sorry. So, Woes is going to take him out with the finish time move, and after he's defeated, he's going to give the Ride Watch to Gates. Now, on top of that, he's also going to give him the Shinobi Ride Watch, and this causes him to see a vision of what I assume is his Gates revived form. It looks to be. So now, because of this, according to Black Woes, things are starting to deviate from the Omagio timeline and into the timeline of Gates Revive instead. And this is where he's going to give Sogo's uncle the Geo Ride Watch to repair, which I'm not sure what that means yet, but I can think of a couple of things. So that seems interesting enough. And that's kind of where it's going to end now with the Kamen Rider Yuga from Ryuki being the monster for next week. Now, I know I'm cutting this one a bit short, but like I said before, there were some confusing plot lines in this one for me, but like that's kind of inevitable when you're dealing with a time travel based series, you know? Like some things are going to get kind of convoluted. So I think as a result, I'm going to have to put this one as one of my lesser favorite story arcs for this season just because of that reason. Because I don't even think they answered how the main quiz and the another quiz could coexist. But we'll see if it picks up next time. So, for now, be sure to like my Facebook page at Midwest Tokusatsu. Link will be in the description. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is your captain, signing out.